Hey everybody, how are you all? It's so lovely to be here with you all. Fresh start to 2015. I don't know about you, it feels like great fresh new energy for me, and I know we've got a lot of new faces on the call today, and I'm very excited to get to know many more of you through the call. I just wanted to start today really saying the health coaching industry is such an exciting industry. It really has opened up such great possibility for how we as purpose-driven women can now choose to live our lives. I don't believe there's any coincidence that you have been called to health coaching as a career, nor to this call today. The world is totally ready for health coaching and therefore ready for you. And of course, health coaching is still a relatively new industry. And from that stance, it can be hard for us to find role models or business advice of how to really make this career work for you. It's certainly a very different kettle of fish than, your normal 9-to-5 career. And that is why I'm really excited to share with you all this brand new 3-part Business Boost training series for driven health coaches. And the word business, when I called this call the Business Boost training series, it's like, oh, is that too hard? Like, the word business, I've noticed, brings up all kinds of reactions for those of us who are drawn to health coaching, because we tend to be leaning towards the health coaching because we're coming from more of a heart-centered place and, than perhaps the traditional career. And we bring with us all our traditional limiting beliefs around business, certainly about money, which I'm going to go much more into next week. And this can leave us confused on how we can really create the life we desire. And, the women who make a true impact in the world via health coaching, and will be making even more of an impact as this picks up in the next few years, will be those who, of course, first and foremost, come from that heart-centered place. And then secondly, learn the business and marketing is in fact a way to make a bigger impact in the world. And this will really create a ripple effect on the planet. I'm not going to go too much into my beliefs on that today. I know many of you have heard me talk about my mindset of marketing and, advertising, of how people are actually programmed to hear, and, that mix of how we bring that in. But today what I am going to do is share with you more anyway on the mindset of this authentic businesswoman who's serious about making change, both for the world and for herself. And really specifically today, we're going to look at why January is a key time to kickstart your coaching practice, or to give it like another boost depending on where you're at. And I've prepared a little surprise for you all to really get into kickstarting your clients in the next few weeks. So at the end of today's call, I will be taking Q&As for any of your questions. So please get those prepared. You'll see, for those of you who haven't been on my webinars before, there is a chat box. I don't tend to watch it. In fact, I will turn it off in a second because it can distract me. But my VA, Joanna, is on the call with us all today, and she'll support you on that chat box for anything you need during the call. And then when we come to the Q&A time, that's where you'll put your questions and I can answer anything at all in regards to what we've talked about, or, health coaching, your business in general. That will always also be the time. Many of you have been emailing me questions about my Upswing Mastermind program. So there'll be time at the end for me to answer any of those questions as well. So that's how today is going to work. We do have a lot of new faces. I'm actually just going to check that chat box and turn it off so that I'm not distracted. Yeah, great. Okay. Hundreds of people with us today and a lot of new names I see. So I am going to take a little bit of time just to tell you briefly a little bit about me, because I know a lot of you haven't met me before. My name is Amanda Daly, and I work as a business and wealth consciousness mentor for health coaches. I have 15 years corporate advertising background. That was my career path. I worked on big brands such as eBay. I was actually in one of their startup teams in the UK, so we're going back a few years. Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Nokia, a lot of the big worldwide corporate brands. And loved that career. It was great for many, many years. Loved the creativity and the strategy behind everything. And at the same time, as I know a lot of women can really relate to, that career wasn't really serving me on a, like, you know, mental, spiritual, physical level, as I was just burning out. And for a long time, I blamed the, you know, the corporate industry, which isn't necessarily the case. But it certainly wasn't the environment for me. And as I, for many years, was kind of juggling the two paths in some ways, I, you know, trained to be an energy healer for a while and then pulled out of the final exam because I got into ad school. You know, I was living these kind of juxtaposed lives. I did macrobiotic and yoga training many, many years ago, and, you know, was doing all these things, but also I was seeing kinesiologists and naturopaths, and really, if I'm honest, I was just trying to find the missing piece. Like, why couldn't I keep up as a woman? Why did it seem like the world, the working world, was like this, and what's wrong with me? So, you know, it took me on this health path, and the more I learnt, the more I wanted to give back. And when all of a sudden health coaching was presented to me, it just seemed like the perfect solution. And I will say, though, you know, and many of you I know are at this exact point, it's one thing to talk about, I'm going to be a health coach, this is, you know, great. But I actually left my job in advertising. I would not advise that to most people. But there was certain circumstances, and mainly to do with being burnt out, why I did step aside. And all of a sudden, the whole world that I'd known, the way, you know, work in the corporate world, getting up every day and going to work, all of that was gone. And this grand dream of, I'm going to be a health coach, was all of a sudden a very harsh reality of, I have no idea what to do. And I wasn't lacking passion, I wasn't lacking drive. I mean, yeah, I was half burnt out, but it didn't matter. You know, part of that's the old working hard habit too. But, you know, I wanted it, and I started a website and started a blog, like the only things I really knew how to do. And I thought that was going to get me clients, and it didn't. And I spent a very long time in those early days, like literally lying on the sofa, like staring at the roof, going, I would do anything, you know, to get this word out there and to tell people more, all these things I knew about health and lifestyle. And the truth is, you know, no one was just magically stumbling across my website and contacting me to work with them. So part of that process for me was I started actually thinking about the work I had done on the bigger, you know, corporate brands. And at that time I was making that whole world very bad, and, you know, advertising's wrong and all this, but I started playing with a few of the techniques. And, you know, I really, once I started applying that and getting more into a business mindset than maybe this idealized version that I thought, my health coaching business really did pick up very quickly. And I started, you know, getting regular clients, and I'm not saying it was overnight, I don't think it's overnight for anyone, but actively, like, going out and hosting workshops and doing talks and just getting out there and talking to people about what I did, and picking up clients. And that very quickly, you know, grew up to consistent 5, 6, 7K months in my health coaching business. And I was very excited by finding this kind of mix, like, oh, it was part of a healing journey for me, to be honest, of how can advertising, which I thought was bad, be applied. And once I started seeing like this mix, and that actually this is the way to get the message of health out to the world and create, you know, much bigger change, I got really excited by it. And I actually, knowing that me marketing wasn't going to be, you know, inauthentic or bad when I was doing it for myself, for my business, I trusted more, and I went out and I worked with some of the really biggest online marketing mentors in the world who are more kind of hardcore, you know, fast-paced. And I brought that back, and I kept weaving it back into health coaching because it was such a new industry. There was really no models for me other than some kind of what I would call overnight celebrity successes, which, you know, have been a great inspiration for many of us. But there was no model of how to do that for yourself. So I kept weaving them back, weaving all the things I knew, and trial and error over and over again on my own business as it continued to grow, and obviously continued to help, you know, a lot more people. Then, I guess, to cut, you know, a long story short, more and more people were asking me for business coaching. And so then I have now moved into purely business mentoring, which, you know, as we can see now, was actually my whole path. And I think for a lot of us, there's a natural path that will unfold, you know, and so trying to find that perfect business from the start can be a real mistake. So yes, I live, I should say, in beautiful Bondi Beach, Australia. Lovely hot weather here today, sunny blue sky. I work from home in my apartment, and you know, I just love the lifestyle that I've created for myself. Sometimes I work from home, or I work from the local cafes. I can go to yoga or Pilates, you know, when I choose in the daytime. Swimming in the ocean with friends this time of year is one of my, you know, favorite parts of working here. And, you know, sometimes I still, I forget sometimes, and other times it's like this wake-up call of, oh my gosh, like, you know, I've created this. And I've spent a large amount of time the last few years traveling as well, whether that's more time that I've had to travel to New Zealand where my family is, or combination of business and travel this year, a lot of time in America, Paris, in Mexico. Yeah, there's been a lot of travel and, you know, a lot of great times. And I don't share this with you to, you know, say like, oh, look at my life. Not at all. For me, this is a place of true freedom that is possible for all of us. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, like, the difference that we can make in the world for others has to start in the difference that we choose to make in the life for ourselves. And one of the biggest problems is that, in general, we're not surrounded by people who believe that it's possible to create this reality for yourself. So let me make it clear, this certainly did not happen overnight. You know, like I said, there wasn't anyone giving me a foot up or anything like that. I've built my business and as a result, you know, my lifestyle from scratch, and genuinely love nothing more than showing other people how to do the same, because it's completely possible for you just as much as it was me. So where does it start? On that note, we're going to talk about January. And I know that January is a fun time, right? Like, January, we all go into New Year's resolutions and goals. And I mean, I don't know about you. At first, when this comes up, it's like starts coming in my mind around December. It's like, oh, fresh start, new ideas. And then it kind of like, all of a sudden, it's all that you're thinking about, all these goals and this change. And almost becomes too big, and everyone's talking about it. And whether or not you're into goals or New Year's resolutions, I think most people in the world do take a little bit of time at this year to reevaluate and take a step back. And you know, here in the Southern Hemisphere, we tend to take longer holidays at this time of year, which means bigger breaks. But I know in most parts of the world, there's still a break of some kind. And so I know a lot of you have already been doing a lot of this work, and so this should be easy. I just wanted to take a moment to do a wee exercise as we start the call today. And I invite you to shut your eyes. And I want you to really step into the truth and the possibility that you can create whatever you like in your life and your business. And I want you to just sit in your chair and be honest. If there really was no lack of money, time, talent, no restrictions at all, what do you secretly, even you wouldn't even tell anyone, but if you're really honest with yourself, what do you wish you could create in your life? And as you've got your eyes closed, I just want you to take a moment and just really just relax into your chair. And we're going to just do a little visualization from that place of expansion. I want you to vision that you're sitting in a chair, you're ending up the holiday period. It's actually this time next year. And next to you, there's a little side table and there's a magazine. And on that magazine, it's a very special magazine that's just been sent to you, and it was sent to you because someone interviewed you this year, in 2015, on what you're up to in the world, what you're up to in your business. And you were very, very stoked when this opportunity came through late in 2015 because someone recognized that you were up to something big. and they asked to hear all about it from you. So pick up the magazine and just take a note of the magazine. What cover is on it? What colors? What kind of graphics? Might be a brand you know. You might not know which magazine it is. Just get a feel for what it is that you've been associated with when anything is possible. And just take a moment to flick through the pages of the magazine and take a look what other kind of content is in that magazine. And as you keep flicking through, you get a real vibe and a real feel for this dream reality that you've been featured in. And then when you come across the interview, you'll see there's a double-page spread. You weren't expecting this. You didn't know how big the interview would be, but they've actually done 2 pages on you. On the left-hand side is a full-page photo of yourself with a title. And just take note. What does the title say? It doesn't matter if you can't see the exact words. Maybe you get a feel. Just see what comes through for you. What are you wearing in the photo? How are you looking? What kind of clothes are you wearing? Shoes. What's the title they've given to sum up this wonderful work that you're doing in the world? And then move your eyes over to the second page and just start scanning through. This is the actual article. You might just get a feel, you might get some words pop out. What were you talking about in the interview? What were they asking you? What did they want to know from you? As you scan down about halfway through the page, there's a big pull-out of text. There's a big headline. There's something that you said during the day. You didn't even know it was going to come through you, and it was a key quote that you knew you wanted the readers of the magazine to know no matter what. Do you see what those words are that they pulled out and highlighted in big words? Just let your eyes scan to the very bottom of the article. At the very bottom of the article, it has your name, perhaps a title, and your website. And as you put down the magazine, just open up your laptop and look at that same website that other people reading the magazine would have gone to. Just have a little bit of a scan. What have you created? What are you putting out to the world? And what are you offering people? What service are you offering that has a solution for something they're in pain for? Because it's January 2016 by this time, and people are setting their resolutions again, and here's your solution in this magazine, just what they've been looking for. And just feeling into how that feels for you. Because what I know for sure is that what you visioned is different to every other person on this call. And what you visioned is meant for you. And ultimately, however, visualization, meditation, all of these things which I'm a big believer in, alone are not going to be enough. It has to start with your choice to really step up and really create this for yourself. And so as you come back, just opening your eyes if you did follow along with the exercise, which I hope you did. And I really do find that this is the place now where reality must hit. Life won't just fall in your lap. There's strategies behind a business and actions that need to be taken, especially when getting a business such as health coaching off the ground. And there's so much out there. We've all seen it. There's online courses, there's Facebook ads, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, like all these things that you feel you should be doing. And I really wanted to hone us in today into the one thing that's most important to focus on, which is getting your clients. And January is the perfect time. I want you to take that visualization, away with you today and continue to work with that if that feels good for you. But just like you, your ideal client also has New Year's resolutions, even if they haven't formally set them. They too have a vision inside, and they too have been thinking in their mind. I mean, seriously, I don't think there's many people in the world right now who don't feel on some level I should detox or haven't overeaten, in some level. January is the perfect time to put out a solution to a pain point for people of the world, and your solution is your health coaching. So I want you just to take another moment. If you've got pen and paper, it'd be good to follow through. I just want you to think, like, who is your ideal client? Who would you love to be working with this year? You know, if someone rang you tomorrow and said, I'd like to work with you in health coaching, who is that? Whatever works for you. You can write this down, you can, you know, feel into it or visualize it. And go even deeper. What's on their goal list? What did they write on their New Year's resolution? Do they want to lose weight? Do they want more energy? Do they want to quit their job? Do they want to have more energy for their kids? Do they want to release their joint pain? Do they want to finally get rid of their digestive issues? People are in pain. They all have pain points. And what is the resolution? What are they like? I've had enough of this. I'm making something happen here. And then as the third point, what solution can you offer them this January? Right now, this isn't for me, not the conversation about what's your big 6-month package or what's your big grandiose, you know, health coaching package of a lifetime. If you're there and you're already selling those, great. But if you're not, what's a simple solution that it would just be like a simple yes for people this January? You know, they've written their 10 goals that absolutely, I'm going to do this no matter what, and you turn up with your detox. I'm going to lose 20 kilos or, you know, 20 pounds no matter what, and you turn up with a 6-week weight loss program. What is the no-brainer, easy solution that you would be confident to sell this January that people are looking for? And I want you to take that away, and I'd love, you know, we've got 3 weeks of training here. I would love to build on this next week and to hear, you know, how you are offering these and how people are signing up, because I guarantee January is the hotspot for getting clients. And it's not just that. Like, ultimately, starting a business any time of year, you know, if you're even, I know this replay will be online for a while. If you're listening to this in March, don't think I've got to wait another 9 months. You know, what I'm really getting at is to start a business, you need to focus on getting clients, getting clients, getting clients. Way too many people waste time going off and building a website, a Facebook page, all these things that they think need to be done to get clients. And ultimately, it's a hiding mechanism. And you got to start, just get in, get clients, get clients. And when you get clients, especially in January, although any time of year, it creates a ripple effect right throughout the whole year. When you get clients, let's say if you're starting out and you didn't have any, and I'm not sure if I'm good enough, or I don't know if my program's going to be good, start coaching. Wherever you're at, you know, we've talked about pricing on other calls. We might do a little bit next week. But wherever you're at, if you're not confident to charge at all, do it for free. If you're like, okay, $50. If you're like, okay, $500, $5,000, whatever you're at, just get out there and get clients. Because when you get clients, you get in the game. All this trying to work out, am I good enough, am I not, you get in the game. You start coaching. Your confidence skyrockets. In fact, I would argue you can never be a good coach, obviously, until you've coached. So you've got to get in the game. And yeah, it'll be messy to start with. You know, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but trying to work it all out seems the only way to do it is to roll up your sleeves and go out there and get clients. So getting clients is going to build your confidence. Getting clients is going to, you know, like have a ripple effect. They'll get you referrals. They'll tell people about you. They'll also give you feedback, and you can refine your program if it's not perfect. I refine my programs all the time. You get testimonials. You get renewals. Like, people will sign on with you again. And just the opportunity to see when you've got more and more clients. You know, so many people want the online program or the product and, you know, this kind of overnight success where they don't have to work. But when you work with clients one-on-one over and over again, you start to see the patterns, you see the trends, you see what everyone is asking of you, you see what you're good at, and from there you can expand. So there's really nothing more I want anyone to focus on this month, whether you're starting or whether you're further on in your practice. January is the time to really focus on getting clients. And, you know, definitely when I think back my own business last year, January, a couple of offers that I put out in January filled my books, like straight away that month. They were mostly 3-month programs, probably 80% of them renewed into a 6-month. You know, it had this spiral effect. I also, in January, because I filled them all in January, then had a wait list that created a buzz. It also then gave me the finances to be able to create different products and build my business more. So January is a real time. It can have a real ripple effect if you get out there and go get clients. And having coached many other health coaches over the last few years, I'm well aware that most of you are sitting there saying, well, that's easy to say, but how? And so I'm not going to sit here for hours today and kind of run through all the ways to get clients, but I have got 2 surprises for you, actually, to get you out there, because I want to keep the message simple today. I want you to know that it's possible for you as it's possible for anyone else to go out there and get your clients. And so what I've done is created a brand new, this is certainly not for sale, ebook for you with 10 strategies, which are the ways that health coaches are getting clients. And I want you to get this. Joanna's actually going to put the link to it in the chat box, so you can all download it straight away or after the call. And I just want you to choose 1 or 2, and I want you to take those and run. And the ultimate reason that I'm giving that to you in writing, not here today, is because the key piece that you need to take from our call today is actually your mindset. And it's a decision, it's a choice that you are going to create this for yourself. And it's a decision knowing that you can do it just like anybody else has, and it's a decision that you will do it. I guarantee it's not that you don't know how. When you're really honest, it's that you haven't done it, or you haven't built that muscle, or you haven't asked 10 people to get one. So this month is really the challenge, you know, to get out there and what else can I do? Who else can I talk to? How can I network? Where can I hold a talk? What webinar can I do? All of these different things to get your message out there. And trust that then, you know, you can come back and fill in the pieces behind of the website or the Instagram or whatever you were going to spend January on getting things perfect. Get the clients in the door first. So we've got that free ebook for you, which is going to, I decided just yesterday actually to make that for you. Joanna's been busily pulling that together for me, or for you, I should say, overnight, so that we could create more space today for me to answer your individual questions. But first of all, I just, another little surprise. I decided to get one of my clients on the call with us today, because what I know, like I said, I've done many of these calls, I've coached, you know, many clients. I know that it's one thing for me to sit here and say, just go get clients, guys, like just go do it. And many of you will be sitting there saying, well, fine for you. And honestly, there's nothing different in where you're sitting now to where I was to going on 3 years ago. Like I said, it's not overnight, but you've got to start. And certainly, you know, with all I know now, we can speed that process up a lot. I decided to get one of my private clients on the phone with us today to share it from a client perspective, so that we can just eliminate that it's fine for you kind of story. And so yeah, let's just dive in. I don't even really know what I'm going to ask Erica about, but yeah, let's welcome Erica. She's one of my clients. Let me just see. Are you unmuted?
I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you so much, Erica, for joining us. And last minute notice too. As you can all hear me saying, I had all this content for today, and I was like, no, like everyone just, I want us to get our clients and get our message of health coaching out there into the world. And like, having worked with me, obviously you've heard this approach, you know, that I've had. Yeah. Just for a bit of context, Erica and I don't know exactly, have been working together a few months now, and like every client, it's not an overnight success. You know, it's not like whether you're working with me one-on-one or my mastermind, whatever, it's, I actually in the mastermind I give the blueprint, you know, here, week 1. But no one's going to take that blueprint, of course, and just apply it overnight. It's always the inner work, it's always the, you know, the mindset, but ultimately you got to get in the game and you got to get clients. And so I just wanted to, yeah, get Erica to maybe tell us, because I know people, you know, love to hear from clients. Do you want to tell us, Erica, when you started working with me, like what was going on for you? Where were you at in your business? How far through? And kind of what problems or where were you stuck?
Yeah, absolutely. So hello, everyone. Thanks for having me on here, Amanda. We started working together in the end of August as I signed up with you. And, I graduated from IIN. It's going to be 2 years this coming May. So, I was, 1 year trying to build my business, really kind of following the steps that IIN gave me. And, just finding myself hitting a lot of blocks. The clients just weren't coming. There would be a spurt. I'd get a couple clients, and then it would just be dry bones for, 2 months. And just really inconsistent. And I was having an issue really implementing smart strategies to bring those clients in the door. And so that's when I reached out to you. I knew that I needed support. I knew I needed someone to guide me and show me, how to get it done and how to be smart. I think before I was spending a lot of time kind of flailing around, doing a lot of things that were, kind of sucking up my time but not revenue producing, blogging a lot or on Twitter or Instagram, which are all great pieces, but at the end of the day, they weren't making me any money. So, my intention was, to not only serve women, but to actually have a business that was coaching people and profitable. So, yeah, my struggle was that. It was just getting clients through the door. I knew I had the talent. I knew I had the skill set because I went to school, I got my education, and I knew I had the passion and drive for it, but there was just that missing link that kept me from, getting those clients, coaching women, making money, and having successful business. So that's when I found you.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I thought that Erica would be a great model, to have on the call today was people tend to fall into two camps when they're starting. They're either so paralyzed by technology and websites and they think, therefore, because I can't do that, I can't get clients. Or they're more what I would call the go-getter, like Erica, like, great, yeah, I'll get up my blog and my website, and like your blog presence couldn't have been more beautiful. I know that we've worked and, lifted it up again, but overall, like, you were blogging and you had all these things out there that you knew how to do. And what I find that also does is people then look at people like you and think you're killing it, and the truth is, again, a website's just a website, and you had that energy, you had that passion, you wanted to help people like nothing more. In fact, from memory, I think you even had some good PR, but you weren't making money and therefore you weren't helping or serving people. And so do you want to share a little bit around how working together has helped and what's changed for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it was really going from using a structured technique or structured strategy that just didn't feel natural to me to working with you and you teaching me, how to still be smart with my business, but also inject myself, my personality in what I was doing. So that was really something that I enjoyed because it started to feel more natural, and doing the PR pieces and all that stuff, just, making myself visible felt way more natural. It didn't feel so sleazy and salesy when I was out there talking about what I was doing, which was like an icky piece for me before. I always felt like it was unnatural. And then one thing you really taught me was about wealth consciousness. I had a lot of beliefs around money that, if I was going to be a successful health coach, that I was going to have to work really, really hard, and it was going to be, bloody knuckles and sweat and tears, and it was just going to be like just a Herculean effort to get people through the door. And, when you taught me about, wealth consciousness, that title, I didn't even know what that was before I started working with you. I never really heard that before. And so, when we started working together, you taught me that it's really not about that. It doesn't have to feel sleazy. It doesn't have to feel like really hard work. You can be really smart about building your business and have a constant flow of clients coming through the door. And it took me some time to get that and learn that. But, compared to my mentality then, and obviously, people are coming through the door now, I've worked on that, but just changing my mindset around that. The mindset piece was just huge. I had huge breakthroughs with that, and just you teaching me how to build a business, be smart, and not be breaking my back, trying to bring clients through the doors. It was a lot simpler than I ever imagined it could be.
Excellent. And it's that combination, that I work with definitely in the mastermind as well as, with some private clients. It's that combination that I work on, the wealth consciousness, what's really going on in mindset beliefs. Because like I said, I can give you that. I can give everyone today, that 5K a month plan, which I have and is very solid. And clearly, you are following as a structure in your business. But it's that combination, and especially for heart-centered health coaches, etc., I really think that's what we're called to work on. And when you bring the two pieces together, this is what no one's teaching, it really does, lift our business to another level, not just in how we're serving, but how we feel, in ourselves. And that certainly doesn't include burnout, because with my burnout story, it's no-go. Doesn't mean there's not hard work, for sure. So if you're happy to share this, before you were working with me, like, what kind of money were you making?
Yeah, so I was hustling, and I was making like, 1K, 2K a month if it was a really, really good month. Never really any more than that. It was, I felt like for the work I was doing, I should have been making way more, but it just didn't happen. It wasn't coming through in the way that I thought it would have.
Yeah, and from what I hear, I mean, using Erica as an example of what I work with a lot of people, it's 1-2K a month if you're lucky and you're really working hard, but it's certainly not consistent either. Was that the case with you? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no consistency at all.
Yeah, totally. Which is why it makes it hard for a lot of people to leave their jobs, and it's the reality too while you're building. It's why I say, yes, I left my job, but I wouldn't recommend that to people. You have to go through that phase of 1K, 2K, etc. But there's some real key things that you do need to work on in a job like this, because we're essentially selling ourselves. It's one of the main blocks, I think. So let's fast forward. So we started working end of August, beginning of September, a couple of months of wealth consciousness and, refining things in your offerings and all that kind of good stuff. Do you want to share with us rough income, maybe December?
Yeah, absolutely. So December, I brought in 5K, and then the first week of January, as of Saturday, I already brought in 3K. So, I mean, I have the rest of the month to go. And yeah, it's just the refining piece, that in the wealth consciousness piece, getting myself into reality too is something that you really helped me do. Getting myself into reality about what was important in my business and what, was just ill-spent energy. But yeah, I mean, it's just going up from here. My intention is to make 10K this month. So. And then just keep going. But yeah, it's really exciting.
Combination. We're using Erica as a bit of a model. It's a combination, clearly, of the work she's been doing. It's starting to, pay off. And at the same time, we're 5 days into January, and she's made $3,000 with, I think, from what she told me earlier, 10, 12 discovery sessions already booked in for the month. And she's continuing to market. I mean, we're only just starting. This is a combination of the January, effect and what she's doing. And if you can really click into it in January, it also will build your confidence, that you can then repeat it, etc. There was a point I wanted to make on that. Oh, damn, I can't remember what it was. About your client. Oh, yeah. I wanted to make it clear that, working with Erica and with my other clients, it's not like I'm saying, go out there and sell a $5,000 program. That's not what wealth consciousness is about. And in fact, with many clients, and I think we've done it with Erica here and there, is actually bringing prices down. You've got to be really in alignment with your prices, and even when you think you're at one price, it's like, actually, what if we brought that down and did the numbers differently? So it's a real combination of, the smart business sense to make this actually work, as well as the inner work. And what I've seen over and over again is when people don't have this more business strategy, they're just going around trying to work it out or copy, the online blogs that they think are the ones doing well, and they actually then just start to take it personally, think they're no good, think they're not a good coach, and give up. The fact that you were still on it after a couple of years and hadn't given up probably shows that at least you're very on purpose,
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I wasn't going to ask you this, but I feel to, because I know a couple of people have, mentioned thanking having you on here. You're obviously not in my mastermind group, but I have with my private clients, which I don't really take on anymore, but we still have our own group. And I just wanted to ask your thought for people who might be looking at joining the mastermind in the next round, that group dynamic, the importance of being surrounded by like-minded women who are on the same path as you. Obviously, you get that same experience in the one-on-one circle as well. Any thoughts on that, or any thoughts, for anyone who might be thinking about signing up for the mastermind, just from a client perspective?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I am really passionate about sisterhood, especially, as soon as I signed up to work with you, and just getting in the Facebook group and being, I think I'm in the Upswing Facebook group as well, but just the community, you're just held to a higher standard, I feel, and the vibration is so much higher when you're among other women who are on the same path as you, who have the same goals and intentions as you. When you're able to share your wins, or just bounce ideas off of each other, it's a powerful place. I think that Upswing and the community aspect is just powerful. You can't you're not, no man is an island, and it's like, when I think that was what was missing for me before. I tried so long to do it on my own, and it was like, I had the IN certification, and that was great, but when it came to actually building a legitimate business, I just try to do it on my own, and reaching out, having peers to talk with and see what their experiences were, and in the community, just a powerful place. I can't even say anything. I don't even know what other words to put to it. It's just something that I don't think, it's a priceless thing to be among other women. I mean, there's power in numbers, and especially women. We're just powerful beings anyways, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is, one of the reasons when I went on to create the mastermind, it was from the experience with the one-on-one clients, seeing that group dynamic, seeing that the joint, for example, if Erica made 5K in December and she posts that in, and then it uplifts the group, and other people are like, oh, I can do it too. And that's exactly why I wanted, Erica to share with us today, and I might get a couple of other clients over the next few weeks, just to show you, like Erica, just like myself, no special background, no special money behind her, choosing to work with me, had to find the money, it took time, just same as when I've invested. We're not, privileged in any way, but doing this work, the combination of what I call the masculine and feminine work is really very, very powerful. And absolutely, from what I've seen, them stepping into your dreams and your own life is, coming through for you as well, Erica. So thank you. Anything else you feel to share? Or
I see someone asked in the chat box when I graduated IN, so I can quick answer that. I graduated May of 2013. That's when I graduated. So quite a bit ago. It took me some time to figure things out, but if I could go back and change anything, it would be to start working with you sooner, because, doing everything on my own and trying to figure it out, it just, like I said before, there's, no man is an island, and to try and figure everything out on your own, it'll just take longer, and it doesn't need to be that way. I truly feel like the space that we're in for women now, 2015, with the technology available to us, it's an old story that we have to work really, really hard and take 5 years to build a successful business. It can happen pretty, obviously it takes work and hustle, but it can happen a lot quicker than I think most of us really thought. What is possible today it blows my mind every single day when I realize, what's possible. But yeah, I don't have anything else. If anyone has any questions, you can let me know. But
put them in the chat box, and we can always.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Erica. I know that you have very busy schedule to go get to your clients today. So if you want to leave, or you can stay online, it's up to you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Amanda.
Thanks. Just mute yourself, and it'll.
Okay.
Got it. And I'm really glad, actually. How do I get me back up? Hopefully that's right. I'm really glad, actually, that question just came up then about when. Oh, that noise is going to be annoying. Joe, let me know if that noise is an issue. I might have to shut the doors. So, nothing like a distraction. Timing. When to start. So many people email me and say one of two things. amongst many other things, but two things that are popping to mind. One is kind of like, I will invest in business training once my business is up and running. I get it. I totally get it, you know. And at the same time, what I see is not many people really having the business structures and basics to get to that point. The other is a lack money, wealth consciousness mindset that I get, where people are like, how could I possibly be expected, to have that kind of money before my business is making money? And, I think we're really lucky in the health coaching industry because basically there's no setup costs. Any other business that would be the opportunity that we have to be making, whether it's 1, 2, 5, 10, I literally know health coaches making $30,000, $40,000 a month. It takes time, of course. No other business can you do that, literally pretty much, sitting at your computer. But as with any skill in life, there's always, mastery in those levels. So, that's kind of my answer. It's, yeah, we can talk more about my course. I don't quite know how we got onto that. It wasn't the point of bringing Erica on today. But January, getting out, getting clients, as you can see, Erica's clearly hustling and clearly getting them all in the door. And I hope that's a model for everyone of what's possible. It's, they're out there, people are buying. There's a lot of stories like people don't buy health coaching or all that kind of thing. It's just not true. And I hope to bring more clients on and show you more examples over the next few weeks. So then, what I'm going to do is open up the lines for Q&A. I'm sure that there's many questions. Let me just check. There's normally a bit of a delay on the chat box. So if you start putting the questions in, what I'm going to do is shut that door really briefly. All right. I'd love to know the schedule of that guy who makes that noise each week. It's not the same time each week. All right. Yeah, let's start getting some questions in the chat box. I know there's going to be quite a few questions today. There's a bit of a delay I can see on the box. I just got your message through, Joe. Thanks. So what I'm going to do is take the time quickly now to tell you about the Upswing Mastermind program, which is already on sale. And I've been getting a lot of questions, so I know many of you are on the call today. Just take 2 minutes to do that, then we'll go to Q&A. So the Upswing Mastermind program is a 6-month intimate group program. It's the most common question I get asked is, how many people? There's 22 spaces each time that the Upswing Mastermind is run, and it's currently half full. So this is why I wanted to mention it now. It starts the 10th of February. And I'm literally taking applications and interviews, over the next few weeks. So if you've already been looking at it, get your application in, or I'll tell you a bit more today. And if it is of interest, feel free to get in touch and we can chat. It's a 6-month program working through setting up your health coaching business. Like you heard me say before, I give you the 5K a month plan straight up on day one and talk also through the reality of how you build to that. We work through a lot of wealth consciousness in the early part of the course, and then really focusing on getting your clients, whether that is your first clients, whether there's quite a few people in the current mastermind who, a bit like Erica, maybe have been getting clients on and off, and really were ready to step it up. So we really get into that consistent model of getting clients. And we also go deeper into looking in your target market, your copy, your website, all of those things. But I like to show that the emphasis is definitely on building a business that's actually bringing you in money and where you're serving other people. All of the details for the mastermind is on the website, which is www.upswingmastermind.com, including the full curriculum. So I won't go through all of that today, but we go through everything. How to do sales calls that actually convert, versus say talking about someone's health, or a lot of the programs teach that kind of thing, and it's not necessarily the best journey for someone who's really serious about stepping up their health. We go through sales, we go through how to market online, We go through how to run webinars like this. Like, there's a really, really full curriculum in there. A lot of content, like I said, you can read on the site, but I want you to know it all builds to a very set strategy and a plan and a map for how to get your clients so that you're getting consistent clients and consistent money once your business is up and running. I'll tell you today more about the structure. So what we do is we meet twice a week for 6 months. One of those calls is a live video training, just like we're on here today. It's normally around 60 to 90 minutes. And they are in-depth business training, which I guarantee you will not find anywhere else. It's that combination of the advanced online marketing with the health coaching and what really works in a health coaching practice. And when I say advanced, it's not that it's necessarily for anyone who's too advanced in their practice, but it's what really works, and it's actionable steps each week of what you need to do to build your business. So that's the first call. The second call each week is a live laser session. So what that means is you and the group of women in the mastermind are all on a video call together, and we get together and everybody gets the chance, not only we see each other and hang out together each week, which is very fun, and it's why the relationships get built very strongly, very quickly. But aside from that, the key purpose is to get on that and be coached by me each week. So every person in the group gets an opportunity to be live laser coached by me private. When I say privately, one-on-one, but everyone witnesses. And so not only do you get your own questions answered each week, you also get to witness all the other women's questions, which 9 times out of 10 were your questions anyway, or questions you didn't know you had. Like, so much content comes through that. And then on top of that, you also get to witness me coaching all those people each week, which means that you're immersing yourself in a coaching environment. So your confidence really grows. So many people think, I'm not going to be good enough at coaching, or what if I'm not this or that? And when they witness how I do it and kind of soak in it week after week, the confidence grows to get out there and do it for their own clients. Those are the 2 calls each week. Also, once a month, we have a guest mentor on set topics, whether that's wealth consciousness, copywriting, advanced sales, inner mindset, belief work. All of those are on the website. You can check those out. So once a month, we have those guest mentors as well. Each month is based around a theme. And like I said, each week is actually very actionable steps to do. And so each month has a workbook that goes through it as well. And sometimes we'll work through those together on those live training calls, or other times you might want to go deeper, in your own time at home as well. And then there's the Facebook community, which I think in this kind of day and age is such, it can be so easy to go, oh, another Facebook group. But I can genuinely say that I would say every woman in the current mastermind has said to me that no matter how many times I said it to them, and Erica alluded to it, like the group nature, they all say to me that that alone is gold. 24/7, they get in there, they're getting to know each other, they're all supporting each other. And it's almost like a vortex of people going forward and stepping up to big things in their life together. Also, once a week, I will also be doing a live hour Q&A in Facebook, so that it's ideal for anything that might be easier, say, online than on the live laser coaching. So you want me to look at your copy, or you want me to look at your landing page that you put up, or anything specific that comes out during the week. So there's actually those 3 touch points each week. That's the basic structure of how it works. Like I said, there's a lot more detail on the upswingmastermind.com. That's not the, so upswingmastermind.com. Joanna will put the link in there for you. I highly recommend, if anyone is, I know there's a lot of people sitting on the fence. I'm going to answer questions here now, but get your application in. There's, like I say, spaces are filling quite quickly, and yeah, wonderful group of women stepping up in 2015. And if you feel to be part of like an intimate mastermind experience with both the business training and strategies from me each week, but also that accountability and that momentum and commitment to yourself as well as the group, then I highly, would love to talk to you about that. So let's have a look at some questions now. All right. All Oh, I knew there was going to be a few questions. This is quite a lot. Okay, let me see where I'm up to. Thanks, Melinda. I'll let Erica know she had to get going. Your thanks there. Best way for someone who's shy, introverted to find potential clients. Leslie, there's not one way, of course, to get clients. Have a look through that book. I'm sure I talk about it in there anyway, but I'm certainly, like, it might seem weird when I'm sitting here on a video and, you know, chatting away, but I'm certainly an introvert. I certainly, you know, am more energized by downtime by myself, and I'm, you know, in a normal group. I'm not exactly, you know, the life of the party. I do get very energized talking when I'm on purpose and when I'm, you know, really talking about what I'm passionate about, but that's different. Being an introvert, I get. And in some ways, I've also had to teach myself, you know, how to get out there. When I first held my first workshop, for example, that wasn't a natural thing for me to do, but it was so joyful once I did it, and really focusing on the benefit to the clients, you know, the people that are out there to hear from you. So the biggest mistake I see, I'm glad you brought this up, Leslie, is that thing that I alluded to before, where people sit behind their computer because they're too scared to get out and talk to people, or they think it's all about outgoing networking or that kind of thing. So don't use the shy introversion, if you like, as an excuse to hide behind the blog or the website. Read through the book and, you know, get back to me and let me know. Maybe there's one or two in there that really resonate to you. They're definitely the ones that I've used. They're definitely the ones my client use, you know, to get results. And I'm definitely not an extrovert. So I hope that helps. Great. Ashley has asked, what training do clients want most in a health coach? And I think what you mean, Ashley, is like, what are people looking for to buy from a health coach the most? She says she feels like she needs to know more to have more credibility. And this is such a common feeling with health coaches. And part of it is because, like I said, the health coaching model is new. So part of that is just being honest about what a health coach is. You don't have to be a nutritionist. You don't have to be a doctor. Really embrace and own health coaching. And at the same time, getting to know your clients and just looking around and seeing what people want. I don't know your clients or who you want to work with, but I do know that people do want weight loss and they do want detoxes. There's no bigger industry, or maybe there technically is, but it's one of the biggest industries, weight loss. So when health coaches say that don't want what they're offering, it's not true. On that point, you know, I'm sharing a lot today from what's in the mastermind. By the way, all that client info that I pulled together for you yesterday is all from the mastermind. And I felt, you know, to share it with you all today, along with, obviously, it goes deeper. One thing that I see so many health coaches say is, I don't want to teach detox or weight loss. And that's because we get this awesome health coaching training where we understand like primary foods and, you know, it's your relationship and your career and all of those things. But we need to understand that people still look for the things they used to buy. And people don't really buy prevention, is what I'm trying to say. We go into, in the mastermind, a lot around selling them what they actually are looking for versus what they need, and how you talk to them and communicate those different layers. But my short answer, Ashley, if you really don't know, is maybe start with weight loss, detox, just see how you go. Okay. Who specialize? Oh yeah, see, Sophia's said the same thing. Health coaching also includes people who specialize in mindset, e.g. life coaching. Absolutely. Just, you know, it's everyone's own path, so I can't know individually, obviously, on a chat box. But my blanket advice, not for everyone, you've got to know yourself, is not to rule out that weight loss as a way of getting people in. Let me just fill into this question. Renee, I'm just reading your question. You know, a lot of people do question getting out of their health coaching course, whichever one it is. You know, there's a lot.
whether they know enough to start their business. I'm certainly not at all sitting here to say that those courses might not have taught you what you need, and everyone's on a unique path. You know, some people will take that and run with it. Other people, though, I do watch a lot sitting on the sidelines because they are so worried they don't know enough, or they don't know it, that they're not doing it right, or all these kind of things. And that is genuinely where the power of being in a group and seeing what everyone's going through, and you think you don't know what to do, and then all of a sudden someone else goes out and does it, you know, really, really nurturing. Of course, there are business strategies far more advanced, and by advanced I don't mean hard, but most health coaching schools do these days offer a business, and at the same time, at the end of the day, they're predominantly known for their nutrition training. And, you know, business is rapid. Business, especially online business, changes literally by the day. I mean, things like Facebook ads change, God, more than weekly. You know, you've got to be on top of the game for those things. So I understand why that feeling can come through, that maybe you don't know enough. And I think often it depends. People who have maybe been in the business world before get enough from, you know, those courses to run with it. And but obviously I do feel there's a gap. A lot of people clearly, you know, asked me over and over again how I did my business then, and that is where I've led to creating this course. Okay, really, really common question. Kirsty has asked, quarter of a way through her health coaching course, when's the best time to set up your business? There's not a blanket answer. I don't think that anybody in the first kind of 3 to 4 months probably needs to start thinking about their business, purely because you want to soak into the course and stay present, you know, with all the information. Having said that, by 6 months, at least in the common courses, you can normally be starting to coach clients. And I think it's almost the other problem. You can hear people like Erica talk, you know, waited and finished the course and then waited and started to learn some business, and time can go on. There's not a blanket answer for when's the right time to start your business. There's people in my mastermind program anywhere from 3 to maybe 4 months into the program. And that's on an individual basis. I always, you know, interview in depth to see if that would be right for someone, right through to people who have maybe been out for a couple of years and, you know, wanting to build their momentum. And it's across the board. I also do work, again, depending, I mean, it's always interview basis, but some people don't have qualifications at all, and it depends on their background and their coaching specifically. So Kirsty, happy to chat to you about that personally, if you'd like. Okay. Great question. I like this one. So Elaine had messaged Joanna this question because she had to leave. She said she's been having that urge to make her target market very similar to certain aspects of herself. She's wondering what the benefits and or disadvantages are of basing your ideal customer off yourself in either your current or a previous iteration. Of course, there's no blanket answer for everyone. One of the key exercises that we go through quite early in the mastermind is target market. And the way that I teach it isn't just like strictly business, like I've always said. It's actually quite a personal journey. And we do explore, you know, where you were in your own life, what you've been through, your journey, your timeline at different areas. And we actually do explore those disadvantages or advantages of where you might coach and who you could help. You know, maybe you could help someone where you were 10 years ago when you were a struggling, I don't know, you know, McDonald's eater, but maybe you don't want to, and that's not going to light you up. So this is where we need to, you know, mesh who you can really help in, I believe, who you're really meant to help, with what you want to be doing and wanting to create as well. So Elaine, short answer is it's very common actually, that you will be your own target market. It's just often finding the intricacy of where on that timeline. Okay. Great. So Elaine has asked, I'm sure the sky is the limit, but I'd love to know how many hours per week with the mastermind participants can expend to devote, including calls, coaching, independent work. I get asked this all the time, and it's a great question because in business, of course, it's how often you can spend. And I think we mention that with Erica? I'm not sure. It's often it's about how productive you are too. You know, some people can spend 8 hours on their business all day and get essentially 1 hour's work done. But really, I think what you're asking, Elaine, is what I hear a lot is how much work does the mastermind create? As you can hear, there's 2 calls a week, which normally are around 90 minutes each, as far as actual, joining us. For anyone who's interested, because I get asked a lot, these also are always recorded, always uploaded to a private portal website straight after. So you can always watch them and rewatch them depending on your schedule. So generally 2 90-minute calls. How long you devote, it's not like I give you you've got your workbooks, but it's not like exercises that you have to complete and hand in. So there's no coursework time, as such. Essentially, all the work that I give you on the workbooks and on the calls are what you should be doing to build your business anyway. And all going well, smarter time-wise than what you would be doing if you were trying to work it all out, yourself. So yes, sky's the limit. Some people, I'm not at all about, as you've heard me say, burning out or working like crazy hours, but I do think there's a momentum that needs to kick in when you're starting your business. And I think there's a reality in that. And when you're passionate and, working in it, then the answer is kind of how much time do you want to spend on it, really. Okay. Okay. There are quite a few health coaches within my community already. We all have different niches, but how do I work with them while also making myself stand out? I think what your question is, sorry, I'm a little bit confused, but I think basically how do you make yourself stand out, full stop. At the end of the day, like genuinely, and this comes back to a lot of the wealth consciousness beliefs that we work on too, wealth comes from creation, not competition. And yeah, as we step into the health coach world, we make friends on the health coaches. All of a sudden, every second person is a health coach. But I guarantee that most people in the world have never heard of a health coach, which is another topic again. So really, the only answer to that is to be more you, more you, more you. What I see far too much is what I call cookie cutter health coaches, either coming out from the same school with the same program, then they follow the same online celebrity and make the same blog and, all that kind of thing. And people have seen it. People have done it. When you bring more of you, and I think this is a process, but the more you can just be you, write what you want to write, get out there, really there's no competition. So I hope that answers that, Lila. It definitely, like when I feel into the energy of the mastermind group, like there's no feeling of that. And lots of people have got similar markets in there, but everyone you can see when you get you in a group, like there's so many intricacies. There's a few women in there who are coaches for mums. But when you get into the intricacy, they work at different levels and all these different things, and no one's ever the same. So I think it's one of the biggest traps, and we all fall into it, but, just to really come into creation mode. And I find that happens when you tap into who you are and your unique niche and your unique purpose, that then it's like it comes out and you create, and you really don't worry so much about that. Great question, Renee, in regards to like Australian qualifications. Let me just check your question I could do that would help me stand out as a qualified coach. I see this all the time. I'm not sure that I have a straight answer for you, because I find that like any course in the world, some people you do a certain health coaching program or whatever, and that will be all you need and you run with it. Other people genuinely want, say, more nutrition advice to back that up, or they want to go into fertility and back that up, all of those kind of things. I think the question for you would probably be around, because you're saying to help you stand out, is it that you're wanting to be different than all the other health coaches? Because I don't think that's so much a worry, like you can just go for it. There's normally a block or a mindset behind that. Or is it genuinely another area that you would like to be more specialized in, because you might want to do that, like more fertility or more digestion? Health coaching, like I said, is health coaching. It's about coaching people, inspiring people, giving them the basics. But if you do want to go deeper, then just like any career or any craft, you know, I think a lot of people worry that the one course should have fixed everything. But if you're really into something in particular, then you might want to also do another course. The question specifically whether the qualification is relevant in Australia, it hasn't stopped my clients who, like, I feel like, how am I trying to get the words? The ones who are passionate and going to make it happen anyway, they don't even stop to like think about those questions. I'm sure they did when they started, but once they're into it, once they're into that creation and that into this is my purpose, then just be really clear. I'm a health coach. This is what I do. This is how I help you. I hope that helps. I get the question. I'm not sure I have the perfect answer. Great question, Susan. Yes, email newsletters are key. I'm pretty sure they're in the client list. Definitely key. Email marketing, absolutely key. You know, got to grow your newsletter list over time as a way to reach more and more people. And we certainly look at that online piece as well as the in-person in the mastermind. Your particular question is it a good way to keep the interest of potential clients? I would say it's the only way. You know, once you get people on your list, like, you keep nurturing. And if you're not able to see them till February, great, let them know, you know, either you've got a wait list or, I mean, you're only 4 or 5 weeks away. I would be talking to them now. You know, spaces open for February, create a bit of buzz that January sold out, or, you know, whatever that situation is for you. And yeah, to your question, sign them up in January, start in February. Great. Everyone's still looking in January. And if you're not ready, you know, just put out your boundaries of when you are ready. And I just want to, you know, catch myself on what I just said then, because I know this is one of those areas people jump at when I said create some buzz. That's not make up a marketing story. That's just like be creative and be exciting. Okay, I'm not working till February. Spaces are open again in February, guys. Like, you know, my schedule opens, or whatever your situation is. Kids are going back to school in February. My schedule's open again. You know, sign up this week and get a January special or whatever that is for you. I hope that helps. In between, of course, when you're not taking on clients, then of course, nurture via your emails. Great question. I wish I knew whether your name was Lila or, I think it is Lila. Sorry, because I don't like it when I can't pronounce people's names right. Excuse me. So do you think it's important to start with an in-person clientele before building an online client base? Is that's what I'd ultimately like to achieve to give me more freedom to travel? Yes, and yes, basically. Ultimately, you will need to get like the freedom-based lifestyle to go much bigger than, say, your local town. The world's your oyster. There's billions of people in the world. Billions of people with internet. There is no lack of people struggling in their health who would love your service. And it is my advice to eventually, yes, go big and go online. Everything's, online. You can then be free to travel. You're on Skype. I often talk about, I can travel from anywhere in the world and tend not to, because when I'm traveling, I like to be on holiday if possible. But of course, when I went away for a month just now, I worked about a week of that, and it makes no difference whether I was in, a hotel in Miami or here in my home in Bondi. And why I say "and" is the, what's the word? I'm trying to say yes, start in person. So because building online, it's one of the biggest, I don't want to say myths, because of course blogging and all that, it can build community, but it's a lot longer burn. And depends on the scenario. Like if you're in your job and you just love blogging and doing all that, over time, then you can start getting clients. But in general, what I find is it's getting out and people meeting you face to face is where the easy, like low-hanging fruit, if you like, generally come to get you in the game. And that was the theme of today's call, just get in the game, get clients. So it's both. And definitely week 1 of the mastermind, we talk about that. Like basically, here are your in-person ways, go get clients now. And this is what we'll be building online, so that we're building you that freedom-based lifestyle and business as you go. Kalia, is that how you say your name? I don't actually understand your question. Maybe you can put it in again. When marketing, is it possible to market directly to our clients or best to form alliances? I'm not 100% sure on your question, but if you could maybe clarify deeper, I'll definitely answer. This is a question I see a lot, Elaine, about like if you're in a new town. A lot of us must move around, you know, when we change jobs or whatever. I don't know that there's one tool for getting clients, but if you go into those 10 steps in the ebook, those are the 10 that get clients. So out of those, the in-person, more networking ones, whether you're going to a networking event or whether you decide to host your own workshop, as simple as chatting. You know, one of the ladies in my current mastermind, she just really, you know, from scratch, had never done this at all before. And after the first week, just started talking to mums at the school gate and picked up her first clients. So it's just getting out there and talking. Wonderful. Christine just saying how excited she is for the upswing to start. She is already signed up and ready to rock it out. We're looking forward to that, Christine. Let's see. Leslie sharing that the visualization, she came up with the name of her business and its purpose. Congratulations, Leslie. Honestly, these things that you see in your visualization, they're meant for you. And sometimes this is where I say I, you know, move between the feminine and the masculine. We need masculine structures, etc., to support the feminine coming through in the business. And that's an example of, you know, people can go through what's my name and what's the purpose. And, you know, sometimes it's just taking a few minutes to open up and relax and see what drops through. So I'm glad you had that experience, Leslie. Lovely to have you, Jude. Kept you up till 2 a.m. in the UK. Thank you for staying with us. Leslie, yeah, definitely. You can start a, you know, wait list whenever you like. One thing, you know, let me say to everyone, I'm not your, I'm just going to use the word parents, you know, like I'm not your parents, the rules, and neither is the school that you're training in. This is the thing, we're stepping into our own purpose, into our own business, and you can do what you like. You can create what you like. Yes, there's legalities. Yes, you know, you want to get your lawyers across your contracts and you want to be super clear in yourself, like this is what health coaching is and this is what it's not, all those kind of things. But yeah, this is the fun part. We get to create what we want. And if you want to create a website and it says join a waitlist, I'm currently studying, or, you know, space is open in June or whenever it is, like go for it. Email marketing. How do you continuously create newsletters? Writing isn't my best skill. Does my question make sense? Yes, your question does make sense. A lot of people have this thing with writing being a big block. I totally get it. I've done both ways. You know, I've done the more regular marketing, emails and blogging. And then quite honestly, like last year, I didn't blog once in my business and certainly did not, you know, harm a thing. But newsletters, you do need to keep going. The simplest answer I have for that without going into detail is having a goal and having a target. So for example, if you know that you're launching your program in like, you know, let's say March, for an example, then you could work back like these are the 10 emails I want to send over the next 10 weeks and kind of having a little bit more structure so you know what you're writing to. But at the same time, how do I explain it in like 2 seconds? It's kind of like what I'm trying to say is we want to see you and your story. So I often start with that masculine point of, for example, you know, guys, the webinar starts in an hour. But sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I'll actually write more of a, hey, I'm in Mexico at the moment. This is what I've been observing. This is what I noticed about business. And then I know that the bit I'm trying to get to is, by the way, I've got a webinar next week. So it's a combination. I often find that starting with the masculine structure allows you just to be free to kind of write and bring your personality. I will say though, it is something that I think it's a bit like the introvert extrovert question. the more you find your own voice, and it doesn't happen overnight by sitting on the sidelines waiting to get it. When you get in the game, you start coaching, you see what you're saying, you see what people are asking of you. Also getting to know your target market, what they want. You just, we go through the mastermind, this whole exercise on kind of like writing a love letter. It's a set thing, but onto a target market. So I hope that helps. It's something, you don't have to be the best writer, but I do think newsletters are important, and they're a communication piece. You're building a relationship with your audience through them. Leela, now I know how to say it. Thank you. Oh, I understand the question now. Okay. I'm a dietitian, so I market to doctors, which is difficult. So I'm wondering, can I market straight to the target market? Yeah. Especially if you want to build like a personal brand or your own blog, that kind of thing. Totally. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. That seems to be all the questions. Do we have any others? Oh, yeah, I got that one. I'll just give it a moment or two, because I know we normally have by this stage in the webinar, there's normally about a minute delay. Joe, maybe you can put me a message in the box so I know our timing. I know there's a lot of questions here today. What I advise is, actually, let me just check something in my schedule. Off the cuff checking while I wait for that delay. Yeah. I'm like, do I open up my schedule? That's what I'm pausing on. What I'm going to say is, anybody who is interested in the mastermind, don't feel that you have, like, that by filling in an application is a commitment. It's not at all. You can hear me say, I spend good time with people discovering if the program's right for you, if it's a good fit. As the women, start coming together, I feel into, is this the right energy of the group, etc. If anyone would like, I was just checking, there are discovery sessions. There's a couple this afternoon. Something got cancelled this afternoon. That's what I was looking at. And there's a couple left this week, and then next week there's quite a few. So to get one of those sessions, you need to go to the upswingmastermind.com site, go down to the bottom and fill in the application. There's a button that says apply. Fill in the application form. What I was really just filling into then when I paused was, don't feel you have to fill the whole thing in. If you just want to kind of ask a question of me, just fill in like the first box or the ones that are really obvious for you, and just write a note in there that, if you're not sure or you've got questions from me, just by doing the application, then we can get you into the system so that you can see my schedule to get a session. If anybody has any particular questions, just off the cuff, straight off the bat from today's session, flick them to support@amandajdaily.com. Like I say, I've got a bit of spare time after this call that I left today, so I can jump on and answer any questions in email too. But I'm assuming that you have asked any questions if you're on here. So for those of you that the program feels right for, this is one of those things you tend to know. So many of my clients say to me, I just knew, or I didn't even think about it. Like, I just followed my instinct. And I still laugh at one of the girls in the mastermind said to me, oh, thank God you put on those webinars. Imagine if I'd missed this, I can't remember quite how she said it, but basically, if you know, is what I'm getting at. But of course, I understand, the program is an investment. It's an investment in yourself, and it's an investment in your business. And, the program is for serious players. It's for people who are serious about building an income and building their business as a health coach. And hence why there is the application process, etc. So if it's calling to you, I'd love you to fill in the application form, and I would love to connect with you via a discovery session in the next week and explore if it's right for you. Other than that, I hope that everybody, regardless of whether the mastermind is right for you, is going to get off this call and go get clients. Like I said, I whipped out a large amount of content from one of the mastermind workbooks to just give away to all you guys today, because I genuinely overall just want health coaches to get out there and start showing what's possible. And I mean what's possible for health of the world, getting the message out there, but also what's possible for you. And, back to where we started today, it is your choice. We're at the start of a new year. We're at the start of 2015. It is a fresh start, and you can create whatever you want, and it comes down to your choice. So it's been my absolute pleasure to have you on here today. Joanna's just going to put the link for next week's webinar in the chat box now, and I encourage, she's put the application in first for the mastermind, but after that she's going to put in the link for next week's webinar, and I would love to see you. We're going to go more into the money next week. We're going to go into more the reality of, how to start making $1,000 a week, $5,000 a month, whatever that is, but also the money mindset, and some other fun little topics that I've got in there for you too. So thank you so much to all of you that have stayed on today, and to all of you watching this later as well. Absolute pleasure to spend the time with you today at the beginning of 2015, and I look forward to connecting next week. Take care.